So you want to goldfish at the fair, you're not prepared, you've never kept an aquarium or you have before, but either way, you're unprepared, watch this video because I'm going to tell you the simplest and easiest way to keep your goldfish friend alive, safe, and happy, and most importantly, stress-free. Let's talk about it. So you won the goldfish. Most businesses are closed at this time. You only got Walmart, which is great. It's going to get you there. My suggestion is to go there and get a 55-gallon tank. Do not get to 10, do not get to 20. These goldfish are going to get big fast, and you need to have an ample amount of room for the fish to live, because that can stress them out too. The smaller the tank, the more the maintenance. The bigger the tank, less maintenance, because you have more water volume, which also allows for mistakes and is a little bit more forgiving for a new fish keeper. So we want to start with a larger tank. Once you have it, if they don't have the gravel and stuff that you want, at the time, don't worry about it. We can set this thing up. You can go get the substrate later. So get the tank. You want a filter. You're gonna get the Tetra Whisper there. I've always had good luck with the Tetra Whisper, the 3060 or whatever it is. It'll work for you. And out of the box, it comes with everything you need to get started, so you can just get that and take that home with you. You're also going to need a dechlorinator if you're on tap water, so go ahead and pick up the Tetra dechlorinators that are there. They're going to get you there and they'll work. And pick yourself up some fish food. We can talk about higher quality products, but like I said, this video is geared towards you want to go fish at the fair, you're in a pinch and you need to get something set up for them fast. We can worry about the high quality stuff later. The stuff in Walmart will get your fish a place to live and keep them safe. So you also want to pick up some kind of a stress guard, aquarium salt while you're there. These are important items. Now, I do suggest if they have the stand available for the 55-gallon aquarium, you want to go grab that too. If you can't grab that for now, you can put it on the floor. I do not suggest setting up an aquarium on a dresser, especially the one the size of a 55-gallon tank. These things get heavy when they're full of water. If you don't have, most dressers now are made like crap and they can't hold the weight. I got dressers that can hold the weight and have held my 55-gallon aquarium for years, but it was well built and it's older. The stuff it's not a good idea. So if you don't have access to the stand, just go ahead and set it up on the floor for now. Make sure you have a lid, some kind of lid. If they don't have, usually I don't see lids there for these tanks, but if you can get one, get one. If not, it's okay. You can take it home, set it up, and we can get a lid later. So you set your aquarium up, it's on the floor because we don't have a stand. Go ahead and put your gravel in, fill it up, and when it's filled up, you want to put your dechlorinator in the water. This is going to dechlorinate all the chlorine, the chloramines, whatever you may have in your water to make it safe for the fish. If you're on well water, you're going to be okay. Or if you have RO water, that's even better. Fill your tank up with that. But if you're just filling it up with your tap water, make sure you dechlorinate it with that dechlorinator. While it's filling up, go ahead and get your filter set up. Put it on the back of the tank. Hang on the back. Get it set up. When it's filling up and the tank is all the way filled up, you have to fill the filter up with some water. You have to prime it. Get a cup. Scoop the water, fill it up, and you're good to go. Now, one nice thing about goldfish is we don't need to worry about heaters. You don't need a heater. They're a cold water fish, so awesome. So moving on to the next thing. Now, when we're talking about lighting, it's actually good. We don't even want to worry about a light. If you don't have the money and you're in a rush and or you can't afford to have a light, you don't need to worry about it, because actually during this period the fish is highly stressed. He's been in a cup. People have been throwing ping pong balls at him all the time. Then you want it, someone scooped him out, threw him in a bag, and you're rushing all over the place to get him home. This fish is highly stressed out. So the first thing you want to, don't even worry about turning the light on. Leave the lights off. It'll make him feel more comfortable and safe. So now we've got the aquarium set up, we've got the filter on, we've plugged it in, and it's running, right? We're filtering water. We've dechlorinated the water. You can go ahead and add some kind of stress-reducing product. Aquarium salt is great. Yes, you can use aquarium salt with goldfish. 1 tablespoon per 5 gallons of water. Keep in mind that there's not actually 55 gallons of water in your aquarium, so I would dose more for like 50 gallons or maybe a little less of salt. The salt is not only going to help reduce stress in him, it's going to also help add that slime coat back on him. If there's any kinds of disease or parasites he may have, the salt is going to help counteract that and keep him healthy. So I suggest putting the salt in the aquarium, let it dissolve, get the fish in there, moving on. All right, so we got the 55 gallon set up. We've got the dechlorinator in, we've got the salt in, we've got the fish in, and the filter's running, right? What's going to happen is this is a brand new tank. It hasn't gone through the nitrogen cycle. This nitrogen cycle is very toxic to fish and can kill them, particularly the high ammonias, which rise and then come down, then the nitrites come up and come down. Those two are the most toxic. They will kill your fish. He's not going to make it through that unless you have a way or a friend that already has aquariums and has established media that maybe he could give you, or maybe a spare filter that's been running on his tanks that he could give you to put on your tank to help instantly cycle it with the good established bacteria that's already within it. If you don't have that option, you're going to need something that's going to detoxify the ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate in that aquarium until it's cycled. And my go-to is Seachem Prime. You're not going to get that at Walmart. You're going to have to wait to go to PetSmart the next day. I suggest not waiting to order it on Amazon unless you know you can get it within the next 1 to 2 days. If that's the case, order it on Amazon. But you're going to want Seachem Prime, because Seachem Prime detoxifies ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, and you can keep adding that in every couple days because it wears off after so many hours. 24 hours I think is max. You can keep just adding a capful of that in there until you get through your nitrogen cycle, and it does work. I have got fish through my cycles by doing this process. In your case, in this situation, you have no way to instantly cycle the tank. You didn't have an aquarium running. This is a brand new setup. You're trying to keep them stress-free, healthy, and safe. The only thing you can do is just what I said, is detoxify these parameters, these water values, so it doesn't harm and kill your fish. Now, some people say not to feed the fish when you first get them. I agree with that. When you first set him up, he's going through a lot of stress. Let him chill with the lights off in this newly established, newly created aquarium. Let him chill out with the lights off. And I would try to put something over the aquarium, something long, piece of plastic or something so he can't happen to jump out, or something can't get in to get him. You may have pets at home that might be interested in that fish. Always good to have some kind of a top, even temporary. At this point, you've done all you can really do. You wake up in the morning, come out, and he's still alive. Great. Goldfish are very hardy fish. I did a video on goldfish. They're a special fish that can do things other fish can't. So if he's still alive when you come out and he seems okay, go ahead and give him a little bit of food. When you're talking about goldfish, the best thing to give them is some kind of a pellet. Flakes are good if you hold them and stick your hand in the water and make sure they're under the water when they spread out. You don't want your goldfish at the surface of the water gulping air trying to eat food, because you can create bloat. And bloat is something that's a whole different thing we're going to have to do to take care of this guy, and we don't want that when he's already stressed. So get a sinking pellet. At Walmart they sell Finsect. Flukers makes it. I do suggest getting their goldfish granules. It's a high quality food. That's the best thing you're going to be able to get it at Walmart. Tetra's okay. I don't mind their food either. You can get the crisps, the goldfish crisps and things like that. That's a good food. But if you can get it, get the Finsect goldfish food. If you want to get something extra, go ahead and get a different food. It's good to vary their diets too. But go ahead and give him a little bit of food. Make sure he's eating, see how he's acting, make sure he's happy, healthy, not stressed out. Just a little bit. You don't want to overfeed. These guys are gluttons. They'll eat whatever you give them and whatever they can fit in their mouth. Keep that in mind. So moving on to the next subject, and that is we fed them. We got it running. You need a test kit. You need to make sure and monitor that water, because during this process, every time the fish breathes and poops and the food decomposes that he may or may not eat, which usually isn't the case with goldfish. They usually eat it all if they find it. Your ammonia is going to start coming up. Your nitrates are going to start coming up. You need to keep tabs on that with a test strip or a test kit. At the time, just use the test strips from Walmart. You can get, they'll work. They'll get you there. So if it's getting high, you can dose your prime to detoxify this till we get them through it. The other thing you can get is good bacteria in a bottle, something like Tetra Safe Start, where you can dose that in the aquarium and it gives that beneficial bacteria a boost to start growing and help get the good bacteria in your biological filter going. That's another thing you can do to make sure the tank gets established a little bit faster. I use Seachem Stability. That's my go-to, but I've used Safe Start in the past. I think it's called Safe Start. Tetra's version of good bacteria in a bottle, and it worked really well. So it works. These products will get you there. At this point, it's a waiting game. All you can do now is wait to see how things go. This fish was stressed out, and if he dies and you follow these guidelines, it's not necessarily your fault. Sometimes fish die. These guys have been through a lot. So don't beat yourself up about it. But in the meantime, he's still alive. You've done all these things. It's a waiting game. That's all you can do. Don't stress too much. Don't mess too much. Don't clean the tank too much. Just leave it be. All you need to do at this point is feed him every other day. Don't feed him every day. And every 2 days, dose a capful of that Seachem Prime to ensure that we are detoxifying the harmful ammonia and nitrites in there, so keep them alive until it cycles, as we discussed. When the day comes that the tank is cycled, you'll notice that you have nitrates. You don't get nitrates unless the tank is cycled. Once you have nitrates, your tank has cycled. While you're waiting during this time, what you can do is maybe go get those glass lids. Maybe you can go ahead and get a stand for it, because you're going to have to drain the water anyways. Get that water drained down after the tank is cycled and give them a nice little water change. And then you can lift that tank up, put it on the stand, you can get your lights on there. Now's the time you can give them a light. It's important to have a day and night cycle for fish too. So there's lots of things you can do while you're waiting for this tank to cycle. And always remember, when you're talking about aquarium salt, anytime you do a water change, only add back the amount of salt that you did in your water change. So if you took out half of the water of the tank, 50% water change, you need to add only, not the full dose of the tank like you did the first day, because the salt doesn't evaporate. It stays in the tank. So when you take water out, you're only taking half of the water out. So you only need to add half of that dose of the salt back in. It's very important to keep the salt in this aquarium, especially during this time, because he's stressed out and he's going to be more susceptible to disease. You want to make sure the salt is in there to help reduce the stress. I can't reiterate this enough, and help fight any disease that fish may have. This is the number one way before you jump right to meds. Let's go with the salt. You don't need to freak out. It's really not that hard of a thing. Once you do it once, you get used to it. The most important thing is to keep those fish as stress-free as possible. Keeping them lights out when you first get them. Don't feed them. Make sure he's got the salt in there. Let him relax. Don't let the kids keep putting their hands in there. Don't let the dog keep coming up and pawing the tank. Anything you can do to reduce the fish's stress is going to highly, highly increase your chances of this fish's survival. And you can have a little buddy for a long time, because they're hardy and they can live a long time as long as you take care of them. You're up on your tank maintenance, you do your water changes, and you keep track of that water. The fish will tell you if there's something wrong with the water, when they pace the glass or he's up at the surface gulping air. These fish will let you know if there's something in their environment they don't like. Pay attention to that. Be observant. I put video out about being observant and paying attention. It's very important. So that's it. That's the easiest ways to take care of a goldfish. If you win it at the fair, you don't have to freak out. Follow these guidelines and you'll be good to go. I certainly appreciate your time. If you like this video, leave a comment below, subscribe, and have a good, safe rest of your weekend. And thank you again.